We made it to the longer, brighter, warmer evenings, and I am so here for it. So here is a look at my current summer evening routine. The first step of my evening routine honestly really begins whilst I'm still at work. I always try and save the final 30 minutes of my day to get done any little quick ticks that I know are going to feel like such a win tomorrow when they're off my to-do list, and just try and cram as many of those little jobs in as possible before I fully commit to shutting off the day. And then my final absolute non-negotiable is to get my to-do list written for tomorrow. I document my whole life in Notion, so all I have to do is update my tomorrow to-do list section, and I promise this will make your mornings so much more productive and so much less stressful. It is officially the end of the workday. I'm feeling a little bit exhausted. I always am at this time of the afternoon / very early evening. I've been sat down. I usually do quite a long stint at my desk in the afternoon, so I've been sat down for a while. I need to get out. No idea what's going on with the weather. 10 minutes ago it was literally torrential rain. It still honestly feels like a pretty rainy, gloomy evening, but the rain has stopped and we've got a little bit of sunshine, so I'm gonna head out, go for a little walk, stretch my legs a bit. I try and do this, honestly, as many evenings as I possibly can. A really nice, gentle way to shut our minds off from the workday and enter our more peaceful, slower paced evening time. Let's go get ready for a walk. These summer evening walks that we've been doing, we've been really religious about doing them every single evening, and honestly they just feel like therapy. They are so calming and so grounding, and I can just feel all the anxiety leaving my body as soon as we start walking along the river. This might sound a little crazy, but they also have been helping so much with headaches and my eye strain. As somebody that spends most of her day staring at a screen, I do find that by the end of my work day my eyes are sore, I feel super tired, I've often got a little bit of a headache, and I need to start implementing the 20-20-20 rule more often. If you haven't heard of the 20-20-20 rule, you're basically meant to spend 20 seconds staring at something at least 20 feet away every 20 minutes. So if you do sit at a desk and you are always on your laptop, every 20 minutes you're supposed to look at something 20 feet away for 20 seconds. Now, I don't do that. I am so terrible. Once I get locked into a task, I can't be disrupting that every 20 minutes. But the way that getting out for a walk after work and spending a lot of my time looking out and looking up and looking at things that are very far away, it really does feel like my eye muscles fully relax and all the tension just leaves my headache immediately. So if you also suffer with a bit of eye strain and a tension headache, then this is your reminder to start looking at things that are far away more often, and double points if those things that are far away are in nature, because you get extra dopamine that way for sure. An evening walk is also such a lovely way to spend time with either your significant other or anybody you live with. Cameron and I are currently obsessed with our evening stomp and yap, and so excitingly he actually recently got a new job that's based in London, so he can officially do these walks every single night for the rest of summer. And I really don't want to take these walks for granted for even a second during these longer lovely evenings, because I know that when winter comes around, the TV goes on, you watch a show together, and it is just, it's not the same if you're a quality time kind of gal. Feeling a little bit windswept, but we're back from our lovely walk. Gosh, it really is just so nice out there, even on a very rainy / apparently now very sunny day. Time to make some dinner. It is now 6:30, which I'd say is a pretty standard time for us to start making dinner, so we're eating by about 7. And tonight we're gonna have a bit of a twist on that viral feta tomato baked pasta recipe. Much of it is going to be the same, but I'm also going to bake some salmon into it as well, and maybe some olives. It'll kind of end up being like a bit of a Greek style, because I also want the pasta to be orzo. So we're going to do a bit of a orzo salmon feta tomato bake thing. A really good one for a midweek meal, because it's so easy. Basically just chuck everything into one pan, bake it all, roast it all, whatever you want to call it, for 15 minutes, and then plate it up and you're ready to go. So easy, and it's still got loads of veg, loads of protein, loads of flavor. Just tick tick tick. So I'm going to start making that now. We're both pretty hungry. Let's be honest, Dinner time is everybody's favourite time of everyone's evening routine. Dinner's the best bit. So I am currently about 5 weeks into a 6-week challenge in which I am trying to do 5 things every single day for 6 weeks. And one of those things is a 30-minute closing shift. I'm trying to be really good at having 30 minutes every single day at the end of the day where I tidy my space, I unload the dishwasher, I reload it so that in the morning when I come down, I've got a lovely, clean, fresh space, especially the kitchen. I got into some bad habits with coming down and like dinner stuff still being left stacked on top of the dishwasher. So whilst the pasta is boiling, whilst I'm prepping my food, I'm using that time to get some of my closing shift done for the evening. And I found that to be a really productive way to get some of that done so that really when I'm super tired, before I go up to bed, I don't have half an hour to do. I was finding that a little bit tough. So 15 minutes while dinner cooks, 15 minutes just before I go up to bed. That's the best way for me that I've been enjoying doing a closing shift as part of my evening routine. And this pasta recipe, you have to make it. This is honestly the perfect midweek meal. And I ended up not even doing it the easiest way. I thought we had some vegetable broth that I was going to cook the orzo in the pan. So it really is like a 1-pan dish. And I think that would have worked really well. But anyway, we didn't have the ingredients I thought we had. So I ended up boiling the pasta separately. Still so delicious. You have to give this a try. I've been finding it really hard to know when exactly to take the time to do my LED mask. It's always something that I end up kind of skipping. Anyway, I found the answer. It's as part of my evening routine. The timer lasts exactly 10 minutes, so to sit and stare out the window and listen to the birds and do 10 minutes of meditation, no screen, no book, no podcast, no nothing, just silence, the mask, and then it turns off as soon as my 10 minutes is finished. I love it. And then it's just a bit of serum, some moisturizer, and then time to make my favourite cup of tea of the whole entire day. This is honestly just my very favourite time of the day. Especially, I feel like this summer, this is the first summer that I've discovered that you can still have a very cozy, very peaceful summer evening routine. That may sound ridiculous, but to me, like a cozy, proper evening routine is meant for the longer nights and the autumn winter season. But actually, this room gets such lovely light until so late, and we can actually see the sunset from our bedroom. Not like perfectly, but we can see all the clouds start to change colour when they go all their pinks and oranges from literally bed. So my favourite thing to do is to literally come to bed as early as I possibly can with my tea, having done my skincare. It's now 8 o'clock, which is probably like a little bit earlier than I would normally get into bed. Probably be a little bit closer to 8:30, and get into bed, drink my tea, look out the window, listen to the birds. You can probably hear them now. They're so loud just outside our window because we've got all the lovely trees. And then I'm going to start reading my book. And this is just like my chill reading time in bed with the windows open. And you can't have fresh air like this in the evening in the winter. It's just far too cold. And to be able to just have the windows open, the breeze, the birds, a book, oh, and a mint tea, it's heaven. I really believe that reading before bed is just the perfect way to wind down. You can get lost in a story. You're not on any screens. You don't have to look at any phone or social media. And I can even find TV too, like overstimulating sometimes. I'll often watch a little bit of TV earlier in the evening, but I really try and have that final hour before bed just completely screen free. For those of you that don't know, I do actually have a second YouTube channel called Ellen Reads, which is where I talk about all my books, because it really is a hobby I'm obsessed with. But I did just want to recommend a book to everybody quickly, because I just think even if you're not bookish, and even if you only read a couple of books all year, I really want to recommend Hello Beautiful by Anne Napolitano. I just finished this last week and it absolutely wrecked me. This is a beautiful story. They say that it's essentially a modern day retelling of Little Women. That's probably actually too strong of a descriptor for this book. You can draw some parallels to it. I mean, the characters in the book even joke that they are similar to the sisters in Little Women, but this story follows 4 Italian-American sisters. The story begins early 1980s and runs all the way until I think 2008. It's a multiple point of view book where you get points of view of different sisters and different members of the family. But oh my gosh, this book is a story about forgiveness and love in all of its forms. Love between sisters, love between parent and child, love between friends. There is some romantic love in here as well. And it just sheds such a light on the cost of stubbornness, the joy in forgiveness, the complexities of loving someone so fiercely despite their flaws and despite your own flaws. Honestly, this book was just wonderful and it wrecked me. I'm just going to insert a tiny clip of me finishing this book just so you can see. Yeah. So that is what this book did to me, but I must say, even though it kind of destroyed me, it is incredibly heartwarming and there's a melancholia to it, but it's also beautiful. Highly recommend. This is one of those books that I can confidently recommend to absolutely anybody, regardless of your reading tastes. But I finished that and now I'm moving on to something a lot more lighthearted, and I'm currently reading Christina Lauren, The Unhoneymooners, because I need a bit of levity. I need some lightheartedness after finishing that book. So there is nothing more unserious than a Christina Lauren. If you want a rom-com that is like truly comedy, that's like actually so funny, then you have to check out their books. And like how iconic that 2 best friends called Christina and Lauren just co-write books together. I mean, that's kind of the dream. Anyway, so I'm gonna dive into this now, enjoy my tea and just chill out for the next hour whilst I watch the sun go down. And to be fair, in the meantime, I can now definitely also take off my little eye patches. All the goodness is definitely soaked in now. Right, time to climb into bed.